Welcome into Phoenix Breathwork, the podcast, Breathe to Rise. My name is Jessie and I'm your host. I will be using this platform to share the power and magic of breathwork and to empower you to be able to transform your life as much as I have mine. I will share my experiences and will be inviting on some incredible guests to share their stories too. Look forward to guided breathwork practices and meditations to help you explore and build your own relationship with yourself and your breath. Get settled in and enjoy what's to come. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe if you're enjoying the content, and I will ensure to keep creating more. I hope you are inspired in some way. Let's breathe to rise. Hello and welcome in to the next episode of Phoenix Breathwork, the podcast, Breathe to Rise. I'm Jessie, your host, and I am delighted to be here with you today. So it's been a hot minute since our last episode, and I just wanted to come on today to talk to you a little bit about that because I have had a lot going on behind the scenes. So it's the end of May 2024. And the last couple of months, well, the last 6 months has been quite tricky for me, and I've been navigating it as best I can. And in particular, the last few months, there's been a lot going on. So I had to have some surgery to manage my endometriosis. I had a close family member pass away. There have been changes with work and other things that have been popping up to challenge me, just like life does. And the only reason I'm sharing this with you is because whilst this has all been happening, obviously it's needed my attention and I haven't been able to show up on here as much. And part of me's feeling like I'm letting you down, like I'm letting myself down, like, oh, I'm not being consistent, I haven't shown up and it's going to fall away. And just that negative inner voice, that inner critic that seems to rear its head every now and then. And I have been doing my best to manage that and not letting myself feel guilty for putting myself first. And that's what I want to share with you today. It's about giving yourself permission to just prioritize you. Put yourself first. You are the most important person in your life. There is no point in stretching yourself so thin that you can't manage day to day. You can't function at your best. There is no need to put everyone else before you. There is no need to please others before you please yourself. And I want you to give yourself permission to put yourself first. And this has very much been my focus for the last few months and will continue to be moving forward. And the reason is because I had a coach say recently as well that she shares her scars and not her wounds. And that resonated so deeply because when we're going through something, we need to give ourselves that time, that permission, that space to heal, to go into whatever it is that's coming up, that we can't give so much to others. And maybe we can't talk about it at the time because we just need to manage it for ourselves and process it for ourselves. So once we're able to do that and the wound is healed, then we can show up, then we can share, then we can talk about it and give our learnings. And I very much feel like that's where I'm at right now. It's like everything that's been going on, it's been challenging, it's been tricky. It's really been, I've been finding my way in how to navigate it all and taking it one day at a time, one step at a time. I want to share that process with you now and what's really helped me because some things can really throw us off course and we may not know how to deal with it and what we should be doing and how we should be doing it and the right thing to do because life doesn't come with rules, unfortunately, right? We have to just get on with it as best we can and make the most of it and try things and see how it lands. So for me, in the last few months, when all of this has been going on for me, I have been really leaning into my daily practices. So that is something that has kept me so firmly grounded, rooted, and aligned that I'm not sure where I would be right now without those. So let's start with the surgery I had to have. So I haven't shared much about this before, but I will in more detail soon. But I have been diagnosed with severe endometriosis. And so this causes a lot of pain for me. And it's something that I needed to manage for many, 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 many years. And I will go into the detail with that at another point. But we had scheduled a surgery to go in and resolve the issues. And the surgery went well, but they couldn't complete everything they needed to for whatever reasons. And there is probably going to be more surgery. So I had this whole period of time where I was obviously recovering from this and leaning into what that meant and allowing my body to recover, because any kind of surgery is invasive, and going under general anesthetic is a huge toll on your body. And I am the type of person that's like, right, okay, done, next, move on, let's carry on. Nothing's going to keep me down. But then you have to listen to your body and you have to allow yourself to stop. So for me, I was able to welcome in the support around me, because I am so independent, have been so independent, love to just get on and get things done, that I consciously have to practice welcoming and support and allowing myself to receive. So in doing that, I allowed people to show up for me. I allowed myself to be supported, and I allowed myself to heal. And I allowed myself to surrender and take some time off work, which when you're working for yourself can be even more challenging, because they're like, who's running this? Who's running this? And, being able to delegate things out and again, receiving that support that you need. So that was beautiful to let that unfold. And then with the close family member passing away, that was obviously a very trying time and still is, because you know, the thing with grief and loss is that there's no time frame with this. There's no rules in how to deal with it. There's no way you can know how you'll respond and how it's going to feel for you when it happens. Even if you may know it's coming, there are no rules and you cannot predict how it will unfold for you. And, being able to support those around you as well as yourself can be something that you have to navigate. So while all this has been happening, rather than, losing myself in it, but still being able to feel and process what I need to as part of my own healing, what I've been doing is, like I said, leaning into my daily practice. Now, what does my daily practice look like? I go on and on and on about morning routines with my clients on my socials. So I'm going to share an insight of that with you now. I believe it's so important the way that you start your day. When you wake up, the first hour of your day can be so powerful and so important in how you let the rest of your day unfold. It will shape your day. So, my invitation to you is to really be conscious with that first hour of your day and what gets your energy and what you do with your time. What I do. Now, I'm going to share with you my routine. And by the way, I'll say there's no hard and fast rule with this. I think it's very unique to you as an individual. You can pick and choose what works for you. You can try things out, but this is what I do. So when I wake up in the morning, I will make sure that I just take a few deep breaths and allow myself to just say a few words of gratitude. Like, I used to start by listing 3 things I'm grateful for, and now it just flows freely, whatever I'm grateful for in that moment. And by doing this, practicing some gratitude, it automatically puts you in that mindset, in that energy of receiving of, positivity and welcoming in more of that. Okay, it shifts your whole perspective and your mindset. So then you start to frame your day differently. You start to take action differently, feel differently than if you were to wake up with any kind of negative or, ailments that you're worried about, or any kind of worry and stress. So start my day just saying a few positive things about what I'm grateful for. And my invitation to you is, if you want to include this into your practice, is just on those days it may feel like a little more challenging, when everything seems to be challenging you and you're like, oh, I don't know where to start. I don't feel like anything is going right. Then start with the basics, bring it right back to the basics and say, I'm grateful for the bed that I slept in. I'm grateful for the running water that I have. I'm grateful for the clothes that I get to wear, because there is people out there that don't have those. And the fact that you're here listening to this, watching this, then it shows that you are already miles ahead of so many people in the world. So sometimes we need to be able to put that into perspective. So on the days it's a little more challenging, just bring it right back to basics and just be grateful for a couple of things in the morning to set your day up. From here, I always like to move. Now, this can look different for everybody, and it can look different every day for me as well. So movement can feel like anything from doing some stretching when you get out of bed, to putting a song on, having a dance around your house, or could be something more conscious like a yoga practice, going to the gym, going out for a walk. Maybe if you've got a dog, you're doing that anyway. But doing some kind of movement for your body. Because if you think about this, you've been lying still for hopefully 8 hours, and your body needs to wake up as well. So you need to move your body. Okay, so this is another important thing I do. Hydrate. Now, this may sound really simple, but drinking water, because again, you've been sleeping for a period of time and your body's been cleansing as you sleep. So you need to hydrate it to help flush out those toxins, rehydrate your body, and just get everything functioning as it should. It helps you wake up and feel more alert. So drinking water. Now, many people will add lemon to their water. In the colder winter months, I would always add something in like cinnamon or ginger, or there's many different seeds and things I would put in my drink to boil up and make a concoction, which I can share at a later stage if anyone's interested. But whatever it is, just drink some water in the morning. So gratitude, movement, hydrate. Okay. And then I will always go into my more spiritual practices. Now, in the last couple of years, I have started back with my daily prayers. And if you are religious or believe in that, then do go ahead. If not, it's fine. You can just add that into your gratitude practice as saying thank you to the universe for whatever it is at that time. But I will go into sit and do some of my daily prayers, and I will breathe. I will connect with my breath. Now, this is something that has completely transformed my life, and I must maintain for my own strength and alignment, because I have noticed when I don't stick to this, I feel it. And it tends to be the case sometimes when you stop something, that's only when you see how much it benefited you. So I've had that experience in the past where I've stopped my daily practice for 2 weeks and things were just going wrong. And I was like, why is this happening? Why is this happening? And I was like, oh my goodness, I haven't done any of my daily practice for nearly 2 weeks. And since then, I have made sure that I will carve out this time every single day. So my breathwork practice in the morning, it will always consist of conscious connected breathing, and it can range in time. So there are days where I may need to get out of the door a bit quicker and have things on, meetings, whatever it is. It may only be 5 minutes, but otherwise it is about 15 minutes a day in the morning that I will connect with my breath and breathe and release and allow myself to come back to center. And what happens during this breathwork practice is whatever needs to at that time, right? We hold so much in that we don't even realize we may have picked up from the day before, a conversation that we had hasn't felt like it's been completed, or we're feeling worried about something that's coming up, or a bit of anxiety, so we can release that or lean into that, and it will come to the surface during your practice. And the more regularly you do it, the more you will feel this, and the quicker it will come. So my breathwork practice, and then I will meditate. And again, my meditation practice, depending on what time frame I have, will be 5 minutes. If not, I've been, up to 30 minutes some days. So depending on what time I have and what's going on for me at the time, because some days I will just sit in meditation and I've no idea how long I've been there. So prayer, breathe, meditation, and then I will set my intention for the day. And this is really powerful for me, because what I've started to do is visualize my day unfolding as I sit here with my intention. It's like, okay, what is my intention for today? What do I want to achieve? What do I want to experience? What do I want to feel? And I sit there and I will visualize my day in my mind, how it will unfold. If I've got a presentation, I will play out that presentation in my mind and feel how good I feel as I'm delivering it, and just watch it all play out in my mind. I will visualize my day and then set my intention. And from here, I will then pull an oracle card if I wish at that time, just to gain any guidance that's coming through that maybe I haven't received. And what often happens here is that when I pull a card, it is a confirmation of what I already knew. So I don't know if any of you listening or watching are experienced or have any experience working with oracle cards, but I have been now for 9 years almost. And oracle cards are different to tarot cards. So they just give you a bit of guidance. And the way I like to think about it and work with them is that they are like tuning into your energy in that moment and into your field, and giving you confirmation or guidance on what you need to hear at that time. Maybe you need to take some steps, or maybe you need to let go. Maybe you need some inspiration. Maybe you just need confirmation that this is the right thing at the right time. And anytime I've pulled a card, I'm like, oh, okay, I hear you. I hear you. Thank you. So that is how I start my day. Now, this entire practice can take anything from half an hour to an hour. It used to be much longer. Some days it might still be if I need that. But these are the things I will do every single day. In addition, there are some days where I will journal as well, because things come through very strongly in my meditation, breath work, and visualization. So journaling is something that I do regularly, but sometimes it isn't every day. And I'm okay with that. Sometimes I do just write down little lines here and there throughout the day when I need to. But to sit down, have a dedicated journaling practice, it's something I used to do every day. But at the moment, I don't. Maybe I will start doing it every day, but it is something that does support me when I need it. Um, and if you that are interested in journaling or do journal, my invitation to you, or my recommendation when I'm working with clients as well, is that to journal every day, to begin to download your thoughts, to get some clarity, to help support with whatever is coming up at that time, but to do it first thing in the morning. When you open your eyes, there is a practice called morning pages. Now, I learned about this nearly 9 years ago now and started doing it at the time and found it incredible. So I'm going to tell you about this, even though I don't do it at the moment, but it has supported me in the past. The idea of morning pages is it's about downloading whatever is in your mind and whatever is coming to you that you may not access once you are fully conscious. So this is why they say to do it in the morning. As soon as you open your eyes, have a journal or notebook by your bedside, pick that up, grab a pen, and just start to write. Before you check your phone, before you do anything else, just start to write. Write whatever comes to you. Because at this moment, when you've just woken up, there's a moment where you're still in between full consciousness and your sleep, and you're accessing parts of your unconscious mind and your intuition that you may not have, but that you may not be able to access fully all the time. So if you are able to just start writing, write 2 pages, and whatever flows out, just keep writing, and don't worry if it doesn't make sense, because what you're doing is literally downloading. You're literally downloading whatever's floating around in your mind, whatever's there in your sleep that needs to come out. And when I started to do this, I found it quite strange, I have to say, that I'd be like, I don't know what to write. And I feel like I was trying to engage my brain when I was doing it, because I'm like, I don't know what to write about. And I was advised to just write that. Start by writing. I'm writing this because I've been told to, and I'm not sure what I should be saying. I'm not sure what makes sense. And as I started to just write, literally write my thoughts, then it would just flow and flow and flow and flow. And I was like, wow. And then when I started to read that back, or as I was writing, it was amazing that the insights I would get, like the ideas I would get, and things that would come to me. It was really, really powerful, because what also came to the front was things that I thought I'd dealt with in my conscious mind. I hadn't. They were still sitting there. And also some ideas, some inspiration. It was all there. And I was able to start to let that flow easier. So that's when I first got into journaling, like as a regular habit. And I do that every morning. And I found it fascinating. So saying this now, I think I'm going to start doing that again, just having shared that with you. Maybe I will try that again. So this is my invitation. Let's do it together. If you want to add that into your morning routine, why not? Then you can keep me posted. Comment here if you have tried it and how it's working for you, and I will share my updates soon. Um, but journaling is a really powerful way of getting things literally out of your head onto paper to help you have more clarity. And real inspiration comes from this, real inspiration. I know that someone shared there was people that have had brilliant ideas that came to them during their sleep, and they were able to access that during their sleep. So it's another sign that how our bodies need to rest, how we need to slow down, how we need to be really present to be able to access all the magic that is within us. So that's my invitation for you, a morning routine. And the more you do this, the more it will become a non-negotiable for you. And I'm sharing this, like I said at the beginning, it's because it's what supported me. It is what has kept me grounded. It has helped me stay level-headed, see things from a different perspective, and not get caught up in the chaos around me, and not drown in the emotions that I'm feeling, because there has been a lot of emotions coming up, and I honor those fully, fully honor those and feel them. But it's sometimes hard not to get stuck in those emotions and to keep moving through them and to feel them. And it can feel like a lot sometimes. So each one of these practices that I do has helped me in some way. So looking after my body, that self-care, looking after my mental health, doing the breathing, doing the meditation, all of this has helped really support me. So your morning routine, your daily routine, if you don't have one, start to build one. Use my list of suggestions, and from there, take what you want, try it. Maybe this kind of movement works for you and this doesn't. Maybe you can do the breath work, you can't do the meditation. Maybe you do the journaling, but you don't do something else. Just play with it and start to build a morning routine for you, because having that structure, having that routine is going to help you through those challenging times. It's going to support you more than you realize until you're going through it. And they always say, some of us, we don't look to implement these things or do these things when things are going well. It's when things aren't going well that we look to do it. But the actual magic is, if we can start now, and when things are in a good place and we're feeling good, then it's already there to support us. And it's already going to be in place when we need it. And we may feel it helps us navigate those challenges a lot easier and come out the other side a lot quicker. Okay. In addition to all of this in the morning routine, I will also say that other things that have really supported me is continuing to lean into that self-care. So, in addition, what I have really been doing is I've cleaned up my diet, being really intentional with what I'm consuming, well, just really cleaning up my food, as in not having any ultra processed food, any processed food. It's all home cooked, healthy, nutritious, good food. I have also cut out dairy and gluten again. And now this isn't for everybody, but this is just for me because I know personally it doesn't suit me as well. So, really cleaning those things up and allowing myself, giving myself that permission to retreat. And that also looks like rest, 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 rest. I have been getting the earliest nights I have in a long time and getting my 8 hours sleep. And that is making me feel unbelievable. Like, I have been a big advocate for getting as much sleep and rest as much as possible. But I know that sometimes it's not that easy. And sometimes life does challenge us and we have to stay up later or we have to get up earlier or sleep can be disrupted. But really being intentional with that and like my sleep hygiene, making sure that I am not eating too late before I sleep. And I have a whole wind down sleep routine as well. I shower every evening or take a bath and I allow myself to read and have a little bedtime ritual. So, like, no TVs or screens and stuff for an hour before bed. And I still do keep my phone in my room, but it is on silent in a drawer. So it's not like there glowing or flashing at me. Um, but just being really intentional about sleep hygiene and improving my sleep and just resting. Because whenever we are going through these challenging times and healing and doing the work, then our body feels it and we carry that. So as we are working through it and releasing it and healing it, our body needs to recover as well. And that's why our sleep is so important. So give yourself permission to rest, look after yourself, really clean up your food, drink more water, get your body moving, start some of these practices, and you will find very quickly that you will notice a difference. You will feel different. Trust me. If you don't, come back here and tell me. We will figure out what's going on, but I guarantee you will. And even if you don't implement all of these things, take the ones that work for you. And the way I also work with my clients is I know it can be a big adjustment to change your lifestyle and you've got so many other things going on and maybe you've got kids at home you need to manage and there's a number of things that are happening for you, so you can't just instantly implement this full morning routine and change your life completely. So we work together at doing one thing at a time, so add one thing in a week. So if you don't have a routine, you're starting from scratch, what's the one thing that you're going to start from tomorrow? What's the one thing that you're going to start from tomorrow? Choose one of those things and start doing that every morning. And then next week, what's the second thing you're going to add in? Then start doing that every morning. And then the third thing, and then just add them in week by week. You can go at your own pace with this. There are no rules. It's got to work for you and it's got to feel like it's good for you. Otherwise, you're not going to do it. You'll resist it even more. If you're like, Jessie said, I have to do this, then you'll be like, oh, I don't want to. Whereas if you're like, I want to do this for me because I know this is going to help me, then you're going to implement it. And you can spend as long as you want on each of those. You can, start your practice if you want to start with breath work. If you're like, 5 minutes is a long time, I can't do this for 5 minutes, then 1 minute is absolutely fine. If you can sit and connect with your breath for 1 minute, you will feel the difference if you did that every day. If 1 minute is challenging, pause for 5 deep breaths. Take 5 deep breaths and then build up from there. Just start where you are, my darling. Start where you are, and you will see the impact. Trust me on this. If you want support, there is a free breathwork audio that you can download from my website, jessielaute.com. It's a 5 minute connected breathwork practice. Start with that. I will guide you through. We'll do it together. And if you want more, let me know. I will create more. Come into my programs. We'll build that morning routine together. You will get support from me and from the other wonderful people doing it, and start to change your life, my darling. Start to support yourself and give yourself permission to go through what you're going through, to feel what you're feeling, and don't punish yourself. Don't give yourself a hard time. Don't judge it, because we all go through these things. We all have challenges. You are not alone in this, and you do not need to be alone in this. I want to teach you how to support yourself and how to have the tools and the resilience to get through and be able to learn to self-regulate, self-heal, and empower yourself. This is all about taking back your power, allowing yourself to heal, allowing yourself to be your best self, to show up in the world as who you're meant to be, who you're here to be, my love. I get so excited when I talk about this because everyone needs access to this, but that is my message for today. It's to allow yourself to go through what you're going through, to give yourself permission to rest, to retreat if you need to invest in yourself, in your self-care, your self-love, your self-healing. Invest in yourself. Give yourself that time back. Start to build that morning routine if you haven't got one. If you do, let me know what else you do. Maybe there's something I haven't mentioned. I know there's a lot of people I'm speaking to at the moment that are doing cold water therapy as well. And that's something I love. And I love to do like full immersion when you can, like I go wild swimming. I love doing that. I do the ice baths, yes. And I used to do the daily like cold shower as well. I don't do that as regularly at the moment, but I know more and more people are trying it and feeling the benefits. So let me know what else you're doing that I haven't mentioned here today. I would love to hear that from you. But otherwise, take this invitation, take this message to just, yeah, start giving back to yourself, my darling. And thank you for being here. Thank you for joining me. And I'll be back soon with some more breath work, and we've got some exciting guests lined up in the next couple of weeks, so there will be plenty more coming. Take care of yourself. Choose the one thing you're going to start doing tomorrow. Sending you all my love. Thank you for listening today. If anything resonated, then let us know below. And if you've enjoyed what you've heard, then please remember to like, share, and subscribe so we can keep reaching more people to spread the endless benefits and transformations we can experience through breathwork. I'll see you in the next episode.